I saw pictures from the space shuttle, North America at night, and I could almost see my house, could almost see the rest of my life. Now my mother's in the hospital, and my friends are in the news, collecting trophies for the songs they wrote when we lived in the shadow of the moon. I guess I never made a gold record, and I've never been to Mars, but I've traveled around this world shooting fireworks at falling stars in prison bars. And my father's got a decent job, I hear he's finally pulling through. There's more to life than singing songs we write when we are in the shadow of the moon. I see colors when I hear your voice. Grab your wings and put gravity on trial. I see colors, I don't fear the noise. Sometimes we're only flying for a while. Sometimes we're only flying for a while. I saw this picture of my niece twisting high above narrow beam, and my brother looks so proud, like he woke up in this perfect dream. And I've known you all my life, but I knew you long before that too. So let's go dancing to the songs we wrote when we lived in the shadow of the moon. Y'all ready? I see colors when I hear your voice. Grab your wings and put gravity on trial. I see colors, I don't fear the noise. Sometimes you're only flying for a while, and I could love you in the falling rain. Come on, grab your things, this is a storm and ride. Like synesthesia aboard a stumbling plane. It's like we're only flying for a while, flying for a while. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I see colors when I grab your wings, they're putting gravity on trial. I see colors, I don't fear the noise. Sometimes you're only flying for a while, and I could love you in the falling rain. Come on, grab your things, this is a storm and ride. Like synesthesia aboard a stumbling plane. It's like we're only flying for a while, flying for a while. Yeah, I can see the colors running when the music play. I can see the colors running when I hear the music play. I can see the colors running when I hear the music play. I can see the colors running when I hear the music play. You feeling all right, Philadelphia? On the razor's edge, gets warmer, gonna start a new life. Gonna miss Ohio, but this time we're gonna get it right. Gonna get it right. A station wagon, tigers flying, Katie's counting crows through the tears in her blue eyes. State lines and capitals go rushing by as I'm trying to find a station on the radio. Everything's gonna be better on the West Coast. There's Morgan Paris on the violin, Mr. Mikey the Kid Wagner on the guitar. And the days move fast on the northern plains, and I read the maps as the prairie grass moved and the wind like waves, and we can't look back. Some men you just can't say. We had our reasons for leaving. I think it's better this way. I'm gonna miss Ohio, but I'm not gonna miss the rain. You wanna sing it with me? Station wagon, tigers flying, Katie's counting crows through the tears in her blue eyes. State lines and capitals go rushing by as I'm trying to find a station on the radio. Everything's gonna be better on the West Coast, better in the mess that we left back home. Sing it with me. In Ohio, goodbye, blue house, goodbye, red door, abandoned worlds where we would drink on weekends. There's magnets pulling from the ocean floor. I can't forget the way you looked when we were leaving. Tigers flying, Katie's counting crows through the tears in her blue eyes. State lines and capitals go rushing by as I'm trying to find a station on the radio. Everything's gonna be better on the West Coast, better in the mess that we left back home. Come on, Billy. In Ohio, man, I'm not gonna tell you where we're at yet, but I'm gonna tell you it's looking pretty good. You know, this benefit is all built around this tour that I've been on. It's a tour that supports this crazy thing that I did in the middle of my COVID year, which is I wrote a book. The book is told through the lens of these three very important pianos in my life, this one being one of them here. I discovered the piano when I was a kid. I was 9 years old. I tinkered up until then, but it was the loss of an uncle, actually, to cancer, to melanoma, that was the first thing that prompted me to sit down behind the keys of a piano and start writing music. I was 9 years old. And from that very, very first day, when that first song found me, I realized that I had found a missing piece of myself, you know, and I know that sounds crazy to be 9 and feel like there's a missing piece of yourself, but I did feel like that. I felt like there was this locking, this puzzle that all of a sudden became clear. And from that day forward, songs have been the way that I've talked about my life, my internal world, and projected my internal world out into the universe. And for 20 years now, I've been able to do it on stages like this very stage right here, you know? Some of them
Some of them a little bit smaller than this stage. But the last couple years have been hard, and I haven't had so many of those days on so many stages. And the book was really a way to compensate for that. But what I will say is, as glad as I am to see 3 pianos out in the world, I'm so glad to see it up on a stage in front of all your smiling faces. Thanks for being here tonight, you guys. So in working on the book and working on the set list that became the show that you're gonna see tonight, it occurred to me that these songs for me are like mirrors, right? When I'm up here and I sing you a song from something corporate or Jack's Mannequin or from last year or the year before, it's like staring into a mirror from that particular time in my life. In this mirror right here, I see myself about 30 years old. People and Things is out. We finished the touring and we decided that we were gonna wind down Jack's Mannequin, and I had this weird feeling like maybe the dream that I had set up since I was 9, lived through 2 bands, maybe that dream was coming to an end. I was watching my friends get nominated for Grammy Awards, and I should have been happy for them, and I was. But I was kind of like, where the fuck's my Grammy Award? I backed up a little bit. I said, look, you may not have a Grammy Award, but you got a family, you got a roof, you've had a career for 15 years, you got people like these people out in this audience and back home. So I sat down at the piano and I wrote that song. And I drove up to the studio in LA that day and finished it with a friend of mine. That song right there, that one's called Synesthesia. In this mirror right here, I'm 12 years old. My family is going through a really tough time. My sister Katie, my mother and I are reversing out a driveway in Bexley, Ohio, leaving our house behind, making a drive across the country to start our lives over without a dollar to our name. And that was one of the hardest drives I've ever made, some of the hardest years I've ever lived through. But without those years, I wouldn't have the love of my life, my first band, I wouldn't have the stages, I wouldn't be where I am today. So as hard as that drive was, it's why I'm on this stage in front of you all today. It took me 35 years to look in that mirror. And when I finally did, that song was called Ohio. So let's look at this one right here. I'm about 20. Hair out to here. I moved out of my parents' house. My first band is having some success. I'm living in the guest room of a punk rock singer named Jordan from a band called New Found Glory. For the first time, I've got a piano in my bedroom. I get to work on songs all day. It's a beautiful thing. I've got a girlfriend, this beautiful green-eyed woman who would eventually become my wife. She's pulling into the driveway around sunset. I'm a little stoned, I'll admit. I got us a couple of Dairy Queen Blizzards, which we will eat in the bedroom. And then I'm gonna play her the song I've been working on for her all day, under the glow of a 45-watt blue light bulb. And you're my good feeling. I'm kneeling inside a room. She paints me blue again. Tonight I watch the lights go out in your house. inside her room. She paints me blue, and you are my reason for breathing. Inside her room, she paints me blue again. She paints me blue again. And then it started raining on me, on me. Then it started raining on me, on me. So fast forward a couple years. I got a little place of my own now. I do what any reasonable person does when they're 22 and can afford to buy like a little apartment. You move your best friends in from high school. But it's been a weird year, you know. Something corporate's on hiatus. The green-eyed woman who would be my wife, we're on a break too, and yeah, boo to that. You're right. And I hide out in this bedroom in this little townhouse where I have a little window cracked so I can irritate the neighbors as I play piano all day long. It was in that bedroom with that window cracked that I wrote a record that changed my life called Everything in Transit. Thanks, Mikey. It's your spaceship. I'm just a co-pilot, baby. This is morning. That's when I spend the most time thinking about what I've given up. This is a warning. When you start the day just to close the curtains, you're thinking about what I've given up. Where are you now? As I'm swimming through your stereo while writing you a symphony of sound. Where are you now? As I rearrange the songs and got this mix can burn a hole in anyone. Wow, that's amazing. I can't tell you, man, like, just being on the road for 4 or 5 weeks and actually getting to step into rooms full of people after so long, it's just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being here, man. So I moved a lot as a kid. Between every 1 and 3 years, my family and I, we picked up and packed up into brown paper and boxes, and we moved from one state to the next. My father was in retail. He opened up department stores, and so we were just always chasing him around, and we loved it. You know, it's probably why I still travel to this very day, because I just get on the road and I want to keep moving. But when you do that, when you're young, I think there's a thing that I craved, at least, like a house for my memories. You know, a place that I could go back to that I didn't have. And I remember one day stumbling across this park, which really wasn't much of a park, but it had a majestic name. And I thought, well, I have this piano, and I can write a song. Maybe I can write that house for my memories. And so I made that place in a song. It's called Kavanaugh Park. Kavanaugh Park, where I used to sit all alone in the dark and dream about things that I could not say. You always said destiny blow me away, and nothing's gonna blow me away. Kavanaugh Park, where you used to take me to play in the sand. You said to me, son, one day you'll be a man, and men can do terrible things. Yes, they can. There was never any place for someone like me to be totally happy. I'm running out of clock and I need a shot. Well, some things never do change, never do change. Kavanaugh Park, we used to get high watching teams as they fought. They loved my friend Adam, but he always got caught. Man, that kid made fucking up look cool. Aren't we all so cool now? No, there was never any place for someone like me to be totally happy. I'm running out of clock and I ain't a shot. Well, some things never do change, never do change, never do change, never do change, yeah, never do change. Kavanaugh Park, where I had this dream that my life would be good, and I would do things that I thought that I should, and no one's gonna tear me down. There was never any place for someone like me to be totally happy. I'm running out of clock and that ain't a shock. Well, some things never do change. There was never any place for someone like me to be change. I'll never do change. Never do change. Yeah. Never do change. So it occurs to me as every time I sing that line about my old friend Adam, like, you know, it gets a good rise out of the audience. That Adam, he lived with me in that little townhouse where I wrote Transit, and legitimately in high school we were a little bit worried about Adam. Not gonna lie, there was some truth to that line, but I know what's crazy is that he's at home watching this live stream with his 3 kids under the age of 7, and somehow miraculously turned into the least fucked up of any of our friends. He's like the most responsible guy on earth now. I'm like, Adam, I need advice. I love you, brother. I know you're out there. This one is what happens when you get in a room with a friend and try and rewrite Don Henley's Boys of Summer without getting sued by Don Henley. It's called High Dive. I took the train home, facing backwards. Another hopeless chase, Echo Park, Indian summer. Wrote a new song about your new life. Like steps I retrace, block letters in your little black notebook. Yeah, flashbacks get me close. I'm almost there. Headlight in the driveway, you stand in the window waiting. The stars are out tonight. 1 million fires burning down there on the high tide. You dance with your headphones on tonight. Watch you all night long, dancing to someone else's song. Dancing to someone else's song. Dancing to someone else's black jacket, a blue motorbike. I pass the mission in the moonlight. Teenagers in the alley kissing. Smelled the gas burn, I saw you street side. I'm doing 80 in a 45, throwing shadows you can hear if you listen. Yeah. Flashbacks get me close. I'm almost there. Headlight in the driveway, you stand in the window waiting. The stars are out tonight. 1 million fires burning down there on the high tide. You dance with your headphones on, so I could watch you all night long, dancing to someone else's song. Dancing to someone else's song. Dancing to someone else's. Oh, oh, oh. Doing all right out there, Philly? Flashbacks get me close, but I'm staring at someone else's. The stars are out tonight. 1 million fires burning. Meet me on the high tide. You'll dance with your headphones on, so I watch you all night long, dancing to someone else's song. Dancing to Man. So I was one of the lucky ones. You know, I got signed when I was a kid to my first record deal. The thing was, I had made a deal with my parents that I would go to college if I didn't get a record contract within the year of my graduating from high school. And I'll be honest, I made that deal knowing that I would break it if it didn't work out. But I was blessed that Something Corporate got our first record deal almost 1 year to the day of my high school graduation. And we embarked on this crazy journey, one that brought us no doubt to your town in the early days. We had a van we called Van Morrison, and a trailer that we called James Trailer. And we rode that van around the country for the better part of a year and a half or so, and then somewhere along the way, we had a little hit about a high school bully, and it wasn't a big hit, but it was just big enough that the major record company that was affiliated with our deal was like, we're gonna let them make an expensive record. So in the winter of 2002, we moved all of our gear into this beautiful studio. I haven't made a record in a studio like it since, because the record business, you know, has since collapsed. Well, at least for me. But I had this amazing experience where we're recording in like rooms where like Frank Sinatra and the Beach Boys made records, and I had this amazing day where one day I pulled into the back parking lot and went into the back door of the studio, and there, sitting right across from me as I'm entering the hall, is Tom Petty hunched over his acoustic guitar. Now, if you know me, you know that Tom Petty, he's pretty much my number one. Rest in peace, Tom. And so I got to watch Tom Petty like working out a song on his guitar. I should have kept walking, because that would be the professional thing to do, but instead I just sat and stared at him. And then, of course, he felt the eyes on him. He looks up at me, and he does the most generous thing. Instead of being like, yo, somebody shut that studio door, there's a stalker outside, he gives me this generous wave and a nod, like he knows why I'm staring, because he knows that there's probably some love there. And I should have waved back. I really should have, because that would have been the cool thing to do. But I ran 1,000,000 miles an hour the other direction. I never went back through that door the rest of the time I was recording there. But that experience and being in rooms like that is what inspired this song, and I set up the piano with a bunch of candles just about a week or so later. And this is the song that found me there. It's called The Astronaut. Spaceman movie someone. I need to be heard. Crawling out of a world she bought. I'm calling out to the astronaut. Well, I need to be high. Calling out to the astronaut. I need someone you got. I need to be high. And I disappear in the world she bought. I'm calling out to the astronaut. Well, I need to be I got you to propel me, but I still need so much. Well, I woke up in New York City from my sleep behind the wheel. I caught a train to Poughkeepsie and time stood still. She wrote me a letter from San Diego to qualify her love. These flights connect through Arizona, but I think I'll stay stuck. Sitting here I am. Sit here I am. Well, I woke up in a car, traced away the fog so I could see the Mississippi on her knees. I've never been so lost, never felt so much at home. Please write my books and throw away my keys. I woke up in a car. I woke up in a car. So I met a girl who kept tattoos for homes that she had loved. If I were her, I'd paint my body till all my skin was gone. She wrote me a letter as we passed through Rockford. She said she won't forget. Maybe I do, maybe I don't, but I know I haven't yet. Sitting here I am. Sitting here I am. Well, I woke up in a car, traced away the fog so I could see the Mississippi on her knees. I've never been so lost, never felt so much at home. These are right my folks and throw away my keys. I woke up in a car. I woke up in a car. And maybe I could live forever if not ever I had known that you'd be waiting there whenever I'm
rushing home. She's playing my phone, so throw away my keys. I woke up in the car. I woke up in the car. I woke up in the car.
It's so nice to get to do the benefit here in Philly. We've gotten to do it in a few places around the country, and I remember when we put this tour on sale, and everybody from Philly was like, "Where the hell's the Philly date?" I'm like, it's coming, I promise. You know, what's crazy for me is there was a show on the very first Jack's Mannequin tour. I want to say it was maybe at the Trocadero, or it was. Is that right? I don't know. Somebody might know. But it was when we were just starting out, but it was right before I found out that I wasn't well. And I remember it was one of a handful of the first sold out shows for Jack's Mannequin, was right here in Philadelphia. And and you know, I didn't expect to go on this crazy cancer journey, but it led me to this foundation, to this cause. And so, you know, we just have to kind of like, we have to say to ourselves sometimes, well, whatever road we end up wandering down, sometimes it doesn't feel good, and sometimes it's fucked up, but it can lead to beautiful things. And I'm so grateful, because I never expected to have such a full life, getting to work with not only this amazing staff at Dear Jack, but getting to help impact the lives of young people who are facing the same thing that I faced back in 2005. And you guys here in this room are helping make that possible. The beginning of my fight, I was told I might have to be doing chemo for 3 years. And miraculously, about a month into my chemo treatment, we found out that my sister, against all odds, like I think it was something like 17 to 20% chance that she would be a match for my bone marrow. But she was a perfect match, and it was her marrow that put me back on stages like this one right here. And I thought, in honor of those who are fighting right now, I'd sing a song that I wrote for my sister, who really is responsible for saving my life here. Katie, you're a brave girl, and I know it's only just started. But I'm gonna be there at 6 weeks. Some flowers on the sticks that were clipped just to make the week strong. And Katie, it's a strange world when girls can get so broken-hearted. But if it were me and the universe, I'd get the worst of this gone. And Katie, I'm sorry that in your condition the sunshine's been missing. But Katie, don't believe that it isn't there. Oh, and Katie, be happy. This world can be ugly, but isn't it beautiful? Not really here, and we're really not there. We're really not there. Katie, you're a brave girl. Courage is something on me now. 'Cause it's been a hell of a day I spent fading away. But we all fade sometimes, I believe. That Katie, it's a strange world as I watch your tables get turned around. You've got the strength that I lost, who'd have thought you'd be carrying me. And Katie, I'm sorry that in your condition. The sunshine's been missing the Katie. Don't believe that it isn't there. Oh, and Katie, be happy. This world can be ugly, but isn't it beautiful? We're not really here, and we're really not there. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Still the cops wouldn't break up this party. And Katie, I'm sorry that in my condition your sunshine's been missing. But Katie, well, I don't believe that it isn't there. Katie, be happy. See, this world can be ugly, but isn't it beautiful? We're not really here, and we're really not there. No, I said we're not really here, and we're really not there. We're really not there. Katie, you're a brave girl, and I know it's only just started. You gotta swim, swim for your life, swim for the music that saves you when you're not so sure you'll survive. You gotta swim, you swim when it hurts. The whole world's watching, you haven't come this far to fall off the earth. The currents will pull you away from your love. Just keep your head above. I found a tidal wave begging to tear down the door. Memories like bullets, they fire to me from a gun. A crack in the armor Just keep your head above swim. Just keep your head above swim. Swim. Just keep your head above swim. So it's the early winter of 2005. And in California, where I come from, where we're used to droughts, we've had one of the rainiest seasons in 100 years. And it made sense. It was this year of transitions and breakups. So a little bit of rain on the windowsill just seemed to be the perfect backdrop to what I was writing, what I was working through. And every time I finished everything in transit, or thought I finished everything in transit, another song came and tapped me on the shoulder. This was the last song I wrote for that record. And it found me in a dream. In that dream, I was sitting on a hillside, right by a house, my house, that apartment where I moved my high school buddies in, where I wrote those songs on that piano, singing out that cracked window in that courtyard to those neighbors who were writing me nasty notes about keeping them up after hours. I'm standing on a hillside in the street, and I'm looking out at the Pacific Ocean. This is the ocean where I found myself at home for the first time at 12 years old, where I planted roots. This was my home. But that ocean was angry. It was making a wave as wide as the horizon. And I could tell when I was looking out from that hillside that that wave was coming for me. I was 22, I was selfish, of course, I was sure it was coming for me. Here it comes, that wave, taking out everything in its path. And right before it got me, that moment before the moment, I see the palm trees and they flex and they bow. I see the cars shimmy on their troubled axles. And then it claims me. I'm rushed out into the middle of dark water and pressed down deep. For a second, I think it's over. But fate had other plans for me. I was shot to the surface. As I got there, I looked up and I found myself beneath the most perfect navy and star-filled sky. And I should have been scared, because as I turned myself around to look at where I came from, the roots that I planted, the house, the friends, everything was erased. But for some reason, I wasn't scared, because I felt a presence in the water with me. I look over my shoulder and there she is, the girl with the green eyes. I have you breathing down my neck. I don't know what you could possibly expect under this condition, so I'll wait for the ambulance to come, pick us up off the floor. What did you possibly expect under this condition? Well, slow down. This night's a perfect shade of dark blue, dark blue. Have you ever been alone in a crowded room when I'm here with you? I say the world
and you were swinging for Mars, and then the water reached the East Coast. It took the power lines, and it was me and you, and a whole town underwater. There's nothing we could do. And it was dark blue. Dark blue, have you ever been alone in a crowded room? When I'm here with you, I say the world could be burning down. Dark blue, have you ever been alone in a crowded room? When I'm here with you, I say the world could be burning to this nothing but dark blue, yeah. If you've ever been alone, I think you know that you're my dark blue. If you've ever been alone, you'll know, you'll know. So, for me, hope is the currency in a song that makes it matter to me. I think for everything I do and everything I try and write and everything I love to listen to, whether it's a sad song or a happy song or a storytelling song, it's just like that little bit of thread of hope through a song is what carries it for me. And this song found me in the strangest of scenarios. I don't know, it was probably about 2014 or 15, and I had a fairly new little girl, maybe 2 or 3 years old at that point, and I got a phone call from, of all places, Disney. And I'm thinking to myself, if I can write a song for a Disney movie, this is gonna make me the coolest dad on earth. And sure enough, I got to go watch this movie in the studio, and then they said, okay, well, you've seen the movie, now go write the song. And I was with this incredible violinist, a woman named Lindsay Sterling, and I swear we climbed into a little studio cave for about 2 or 3 hours, and this thing came out so fast because I think we were just inspired. We loved this idea of writing a song about being lost but trying to find your way back. And I haven't been able to play it since that song got written because I didn't have a really badass violinist in my band. But turns out I do now. Let's do it, Morgan. They had your maps drawn. You had other plans to hang your hopes on. Every road they led you down felt so wrong. So you found another way. You
wait to screw this up. And whoa, 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 21 and invincible. I'm empowered for the hour. I guess today's gonna blow us away. You feel good, Philly? Some days go by, I wish I were famous, maybe religious, so I could go to heaven just like you. Or I could have a big house, complain about taxes, pay off my exes. Ain't that living? No one makes fun of me, 'cause I cross my legs like a girl. And whoa, whoa, 21 and invincible. Whoa, whoa, can't wait to screw this up. And whoa, whoa, we're 21 and invincible. I'm empowered for the hour. I guess today's gonna blow us away. I've got a girlfriend, she tells me she needs me, she loves me, I guess we got married. So everyone could bite their tongue so hard they bleed. When my mom hears this song, she tell me I'm crazy. Say to me, son, you're much too young, go have some fun, don't waste your youth like I did. And whoa, whoa, 21 and invincible. Whoa, whoa, can't wait to screw this up. And whoa, whoa, 21 and invincible. I'm empowered for the hour. I guess today's gonna blow us away. And it's been autumn since the day that I met you. Invite your bottoms to crawl out alone. And I don't wish you know the secrets of summer at all. We ready, Phil? Let's go! All right, so before we embarked on this this little adventure, this crazy road show in the middle of the craziest time that I can remember in my life, Mikey and Morgan really wanted me to put this song on the set list, and for weeks I resisted them. But I'm gonna let them have it tonight. But if you don't like it, then it's fucking Mikey and Morgan's fault. But if you do like it, it's because I put it in the set list. I don't know. It's called Halls. Tucson, Arizona, check
You echo